What's going on, my trainer club? Today we are going to check out the Darkrai Counter Guide in Pokemon Go to make sure you can take down Darkrai easily for one, remote raid for it, and finally get the shiny in Pokemon Go. So welcome to the trainer club. Here we go! Welcome back, everybody. Let me know in the comments below, are you excited to have Darkrai back in Pokemon Go? I am very excited for me personally because selfishly the first time I did not get a shiny, and I think I did probably 20 to 30, maybe more raids of Darkrai. So this time around is going to be different. I have more time on my hands and I'm a little bit more in a place where I'm not traveling and going into different places. So I'm very thankful for the timing of when Darkrai has come back because I really want that shiny, but more importantly, I want the 100% IV because I really value Darkrai. It is a mythical Pokemon, meaning you can transfer it, but you cannot trade it. As of right now, there is no way or foreseen future that we may be able to trade these. I mean, at some point, maybe they'll open it up, but we cannot trade Darkrai, right? Similar to as we cannot trade the Deoxys. So as of right now, no go on the trades. So that's why raiding and encountering it is as important as possible right now. And a lot of people have asked in my previous video was like, can we encounter these in the Go Battle League? As of right now, there has been no official announcement. As soon as we know, obviously everybody will know. I will pin it in the comments below, but I do believe they will probably grant them as rewards in the Go Battle League. So when this happens, one of the things that is beneficial about getting a raid boss from Go Battle League is you are not limited to a certain amount of balls, and you're able to pineapple it and keep throwing balls as long as you just don't run out. And even if you do run out, that Pokemon can't run, you can just run from it, go collect more Pokeballs, and then re-encounter it in the Go Battle League, which means you can pretty much always get it on a pineapple berry. It may eat a decent amount of pineapple berries and balls, but you always have the potential to get it as 2 times candy, which is very beneficial for our scenario. But today, what we're gonna go over is the counter guide to make sure that if it doesn't come into Go Battle League, or you're more of a raid-focused person and you enjoy raids, such as myself, I really enjoy doing the raids, I want to know what the counter guides are, the moves are, the 100% IV, and then we're gonna make sure you can max out. So let's get into everything we need to know, starting right now. So on the last video, I obviously talked about Darkrai. It's coming today, the 28th, all the way until May 5th, Tuesday to Tuesday, 1 p.m. Pacific time, and wherever that is going to correlate for you guys. So make sure to do as many as you possibly can, staying safe in whatever parameters you are where you are. Darkrai, hence the name, is going to be an all dark type Pokemon. It is going to then make it weak to 3 things, which is going to comprise our counters. We have fighting, Fairy, and Bug. So those 3 Pokemon are going to be very powerful against this Pokemon. It is going to be double resistant to Psychic, single resistant to Dark, and single resistant to Ghost as well. So using this Pokemon in the appropriate manner, as I did talk about, Darkrai does rank pretty high in the PvP, which we will check out. But it is also not a ton of resistant type Pokemon. So that's what makes it a little bit challenging when you are using this Pokemon, because it gets normal damage. And since, as we talked about before, it has a very high attack, little bit more even keel defense and stamina, it's not able to take those normal attacks as efficient as if something did have a higher defense and stamina. As far as the 100% IVs go, because we are going to be encountering it whatever way that is, through raids or through Go Battle League, we want to know what they are. 100% IV level 20 is going to be 2136. And then we can get it boosted under one condition, which is going to be foggy weather, which I don't see very often. If you guys see it often, you're going to be lucky, but I think I maybe have 1 boosted Darkrai in the entirety of the time it has come out. The 100% IV at level 25 is going to be 2671. And before we go any further, I just wanted to invite you guys to my Discord, as I always do, or follow me on social media, because I will be putting out a Darkrai counter guide that I'm going to go in depth as possible for you guys to make sure you know everything you possibly need to know about this Pokemon. I'm excited about this one to help you guys take it to the next level. So after you watch this video, you have a good understanding. I'm going to give you that counter guide as well to make sure you know exactly. So make sure to either join my Discord, it's in the description and the pinned comments below, or you can follow any of my social medias at the Trainer Club with 2 B's, or even I'm going to post it in my community tab on my YouTube account as well. And then as far as the moveset on the Darkrai, so Darkrai gets 2 dark quick moves of Snarl and Feint Attack, and then as far as its charge moves, it gets 3 different types. Number 1, it gets Dark Pulse, really powerful move. Number 2, it gets Focus Blast, really powerful move. Number 3, it gets Shadow Ball, once again, really powerful move. So these are going to lead up into our counters, and I just want to point out that fighting Pokemon are resistive to dark moves. And then keep in mind 2 other things that we're going to check out as we go into the counters, which we will cover. We have the Focus Blast. So Fairy is resistant to fighting, as well as Flying is resistant to fighting. So we definitely want to make sure we know that, as well as Psychic. And then finally, the last move, which is going to be Shadow Ball, which is Ghost, is going to be strong against Psychic, which is going to come into play in one facet or another. So here we go with all the counters you guys need to know to set up your parties efficiently. And then we're going to check out how the weather conditions affect the Darkrai being caught. So let's get into it right now. So starting off with counter number 1. I know yesterday I did pull some graphics from Pokemon Go Hub, but today they have already changed that up. We now have a different number 1 spot, which I did think it was going to change up. We now have Conkeldurr sitting in the number 1 spot with Counter and Dynamic Punch. The reason why I thought it was going to change is because although the Lucario is very powerful, it's a little bit more squishy of a Pokemon. So Lucario is now sitting in place number 2 with Counter and Aura Sphere. This Pokemon is very beastly. It hits really hard, that move. However, just a little bit more squishy. You may notice that it's going to die out a little fast. And then in the 3rd spot, we have another fighting type Pokemon, which is going to be the Machamp. Machamp is going to be Counter and Dynamic Punch. Fortunately and unfortunately, a lot of us do and probably have some of those guys powered up since they were the Gen 1 beast fighting, and only until recent have they been taken down from the throne, but they're still very effective. And then in the 4th spot, we have the Togekiss with the Charm and the Dazzling Gleams. So do remember that I mentioned that Flying and Fairy are going to resist fighting. So this Pokemon is going to be amazing going against Focus Blast. So I've been working on buddying one of mine up for the Master League, so this is probably a great time for me to power it up and start using it against this Pokemon. But the one thing you do want to remember about the Togekiss is that it is going to be neutral to Ghost, so Shadow Ball will probably hit it pretty hard, so you have to be careful for that. Like I said, Shadow Ball, very powerful move. And then in the 5th spot, we have Hariyama. Hariyama is going to be Counter and Dynamic Punch as well, followed closely by Heracross. Heracross move is going to be Counter, and instead of Close Combat, it's going to be Mega Horn, because the Darkrai is going to be weak to Bug, and Mega Horn did get a buff. So it's a very powerful move. It is a 1-bar charge move, so be slightly careful about using this Pokemon. And honestly, from here on out, the counters get a little bit squishy, meaning they're gonna die out a little bit faster. Until we check out some of the Fairy counters, we now have Toxicroak with Counter and Dynamic Punch. Pretty powerful, maxes out around 2,500, so it's definitely not a premier top meta relevant attacker, but since the fighting is very powerful against this Pokemon, it does come through. And then we have the Breloom with the Counter and Dynamic Punch. Breloom, I would suggest kind of leaving this Pokemon out, to be quite honest with you, because it is definitely a very glassy type Pokemon. And next, we are going to go into some of the Fairy type Pokemon. We now have the Granbull with the Charm and the Play Rough combination. This is a straight Fairy type Pokemon, so it's definitely going to do work. It's not going to be double resistant to fighting like the Togekiss is, but it definitely does work. Next, we have another Pokemon that's going to be really powerful in some areas and really weak in other areas. We have the Gardevoir. Gardevoir is going to be Charm, and it's going to be Dazzling Gleam combination. So Gardevoir is going to be double resistant to fighting, similar to the Togekiss, but it's going to also be weak to the Shadow Ball because it is Psychic and Fairy combination. And since Fairy is not resistant to Ghost, it's normal typing, it's going to have a single weakness to the Shadow Ball, so it's going to get KO'd immediately. But with the fighting type Focus Blast, the Gardevoir and the Togekiss are going to be very resistant, and it's going to be a really good option for you guys to go after. And then we have Blaziken with Counter and Focus Blast, followed by the Yanmega with Bug Bite, Bug Buzz, and then coming in next, which is the shiny I did get recently, is going to be Pinsir with Bug Bite and X-Scissor. And then we have the Genesect coming in next, newer Pokemon, which is going to be Fury Cutter and X-Scissor. And then if you guys are looking for some more budget counters, or maybe you have some of these powered up, you guys can definitely pause here and check out something like the Emboar. Be careful with the Emboar because it's going to have Blast Burn at some point or another. You can check out the Ursaring, the Sawk, and any of these other Pokemon that you want right here. If you do want to check them out, go ahead and pause it, because now we're going to get into the weather conditions. How do the weather conditions affect fighting the Darkrai in Pokemon Go? So as far as the sunny weather weather, there's going to be no effect. As far as the partly cloudy, there's going to be no effect as well. When we're moving into the cloudy weather, this is going to be great because it's going to boost our fighting type counters. So all of the fighting type counters are definitely going to be beast in this scenario. And also in the cloudy weather, it's going to boost the fairy counters, so Gardevoir and Togekiss and Granbull, and even if you're going to use the Ursaring, this is a great time to use those move sets. However, it's also going to boost Focus Blast, which is really powerful move, so you're definitely going to want to be careful. As far as the rainy weather goes, rainy weather is going to boost all of our bug type counters. So if we're using bug type counters and it becomes relevant, this would be a great time to use our bugs in the rainy weather. They're going to do more damage in that scenario. And then finally, we have the foggy weather. Foggy weather is going to boost Darkrai all the way to level 25, and also it's going to boost the Shadow Ball and all of its dark type moves. So it's going to hit hard. It's going to be a very powerful Pokemon under that scenario. So that's going to do it, guys. That's everything we have to know. I hope this helped you guys out. To make sure to stay tuned to my Discord, social medias, or even my YouTube community tab to get my graphic. I can't wait to release that for you guys. I appreciate all you guys for being here, all my likers, commenters, subscribers, Patreon members, everybody who takes their support, subscription, and participation to that next level. I'm going to see you guys out on the next video. Peace! I just want to take a moment and sincerely thank all of my Patreon members, everybody that has taken their subscription to the next level and chosen to support me on this platform. I greatly appreciate you guys. As a growing channel and really trying to grow and improve as much as I possibly can, I really appreciate the extra support. You guys mean the absolute world to me. I cannot wait to connect with you soon, and I appreciate you guys all for being a part of the Trainer Club. I will see you guys out on the next video.